one time?
Who?
You.
Was I?
I think you were.
You guys would have to vote on that position, and then
What do I gotta do?
appoint another new person to fill.
I got 30 seconds.
Call the meeting to order, Darren. Get started.
All right, I call the meeting to order at, we'll call it 1800 hours. Roll call. Gary.
Harry Lowenthal. Joe McMahon.
Regina Riddell.
Darren Mercer. Absent is Jamie, Tom. And we're down one with Jaren, right? Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the August 1st meeting?
I reviewed them and I will approve them. Make a motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
All right.
See there?
You're doing pretty good.
We got it going on. Old business. First up is beautification committee.
Well, Lori and I can talk about this because Lori and Jackie and I and Tom all met, so go ahead.
So, the beautification committee is, looking for some projects and whatnot to do around town. We had started off by sending some letters to business owners that could have used a little sprucing up on their property. And we did that. They were very receptive. So that's something. I mean, it's something to see, at least, especially in the downtown area here, that they're starting to clean it up. Because I think that's visual. You know, everybody likes to see something happening. So they were receptive, which was nice. I wasn't expecting that, but they're very cooperative. So then we talked about, Regina and Tom and I talked about a little courtyard project right next here to Town Hall, as the town owns about half of that little strip here. So we discussed maybe putting a courtyard type thing there. We had met with Jackie. Jackie's the president of the beautification committee. So her and I met with Tom and Regina, and she had some great ideas of what we want to do there. I think she's looking into getting some information on concrete, right? Is that what she was wanting to know? Yeah. And just stuff like that to see what we can get donated or discounted, or, you know, it was just kind of like an idea of a concrete pad, so to speak, with a couple benches, some flower pots, you know, something to spruce up that area. And with us having Wi-Fi, we could always do a free Wi-Fi thing right next door, you know,
And
something
easy
like
to
that.
put lights up because.
Oh, yeah, it would be, yeah. And it's even better because we do have a surveillance system now, so that does see that area, which is nice, a nice feature, I think. So there's that project, and we're working on prices for that, so.
And Tom said that he could help scrape.
He did.
that.
He did help. He said he could help get the ground ready. Jackie's just doing some legwork on that to get pricing.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Be a neat little area.
it will.
We have been kicking around the fact of getting some new signage down at Main Street Park, ball field. It's just the two poles, not right now with the wooden strip across it that says Main Street Park. So that was a thought that we had about, you know, getting a new sign for that. But signage, as I'm finding out, is expensive. So I'm waiting for one quote back. I have two quotes from 2 different companies, and they're $3,000 and over. The quote I'm waiting for from this other company is anticipated to be under that quite a bit. I haven't gotten it yet. And they gave us some ideas. I'll show them to you guys just so you guys can look at them. I only have one, I'm sorry, but I feel like the Main Street Park sign, the green and brown, you kind of like relate park to those colors when you see a park sign, you know what I'm saying? And then this is an anticipated style of a gateway sign coming into town.
Very cool.
But I
I
can tell you
like-
this is gonna be a lot more than those.
Well, I like how simple this is, because
Right.
this is like, you could do that on like a 3D router, and that's,
Right.
it's
But
for
he-
just kind of inexpensive work.
He's gonna give me a price for the 3D and the aluminum signs,
Okay.
so, for both styles.
Sure.
But I don't have time, I don't have a cost for that yet, so we're working on that. As I get them, I'll give them to, Regina and Tom, and I'll pass them along at the next meeting. And then, someone had approached us about having a couple benches at Prairie Meadow Park, closer to the playground area itself, so parents can sit closer to the playground equipment and watch their kids play, be kind of closer. I guess now they can only sit in the pavilion, I don't know, is that the only thing out there?
Can we get them helicopter themed for helicopter parents?
What is that, a what?
You've never heard of that?
No.
Helicopter parent is a parent that's always watching their kids, they're always there.
On top of them?
I've
So
not
wouldn't it
heard
be
that.
funny if we had like helicopters on the benches that are
What?
right next to the
Doors
playground
hovering.
equipment?
Hovering, I get it, okay. Well.
Because they might see that and be like, oh, I'm on the helicopter bench, maybe I should watch, but give them some room.
Well, the requests we did have were from a couple of parents that do take their kids there, and said, we might have to go sit under the pavilion, or, if they wanna sit somewhere, and they're not, which makes them not very close to their kids.
Right.
The two benches I looked at were the same ones that he had gotten for the Blue Line Park, so I thought we just stayed with the same style. But ours would be black, yours was blue, obviously, for the police.
But I think aesthetically that would look nice.
What?
They have the benches at the park.
Right,
I
right,
really do.
They are aluminum,
yeah,
they won't rust, they're powder coated aluminum.
mhm. So,
And they could be secure, it could be fixed so that they couldn't be
I think
stolen
Father
easily.
could secure them in there somewhere, somehow,
Pouring concrete for the legs, or?
something.
I'd have to look, some of them were surface mount, and I thought some of them were
Were
in-ground
in-ground, yeah.
mount. So I think either way, there's an option.
Right.
But you're gonna have to anchor them.
Yeah, oh yeah. Which I think Mark could do, but those are about, what were those, $9.72 each?
Yeah.
They were kind of expensive, yeah.
And those are the less expensive ones.
Yeah,
$1,000 per bench.
yeah, and we've looked, and I've looked at so many catalogs and stuff, that's about, to get a good bench that's gonna last you, that's about the going rate. Yeah. But, I was looking at our budget for those, I think that we could probably get those if the council wants to suggest doing that out of park,
Mhm.
out of the park budget.
Well, and those benches at the park would be for the park.
Right.
This is a park, I mean, we can make community areas of the park.
Right, now, this next door, I do have some fund in seed it, new equipment, which, because it's gonna be a new improvement, I could use out of that.
Mhm.
But the benches for the park, that I could take out of repairs and maintenance out of the park, transferring it to miscellaneous supplies, I would just have to make sure Mark would not need anything else before the end of the year for there.
Season's about over.
Yeah, and he got mulch last year, I think, and he does that every 2 years, I believe, so, I mean, that it's gonna still leave $3,400 in repairs and maintenance. So we'd have to just check on that, but the council's in agreement to that, I think that would be a good idea, I think people that do go to Prairie Park would appreciate that, parents, anyway, with the kids and stuff,
Yeah, I think so too.
so,
I think it's a good idea, so.
yeah, we can discuss that at the meeting Tuesday night as well.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm just kind of waiting. Next door is really the project we want to start. The signs are still in the works, it's just, really depending on the price, what comes back as prices. I can tell you, just these park signs, I mean, if they're at $3,000, I don't see that's a little steep for just a 4x6 aluminum sign. So I'm hoping they come in less. The project next door, as we get some prices back from Jackie and see what she came up with as far as donations and price, we could probably swing that this year, out of seed it. So, that's what I'm kind of waiting for, is Jackie to report back with what she has found out.
Well, Jackie was talking about, she knows some people that, she really believes that will donate.
She does, yeah, oh, yeah,
There's
yeah.
donations out there, she's just sure. And once the donations start coming in, I think that will probably,
Mhm.
that'll make a lot of things happen.
Yeah, motivates and stuff, yeah. And she's really a go-getter, so she's got a lot of energy, but she knows, shows really good.
But you know, it will, it's gonna be something that's relatively easy to fix and make, you could see it this year. And that was our goal with the comprehensive plan that we had changed and updated. That was
Right.
one of the things, that we wanted to do in creating that beautification committee
Mhm.
was, this is right, what we
Right.
said we wanted to do.
And this is going to be 100% volunteer work.
Mhm.
We're gonna ask, and the beautification committee members obviously are gonna volunteer. Our family, anybody in town that wants to volunteer, it's gonna be completely volunteer labor. So we're not spending money on that. And I will report now that I think about it, that we did also apply for a Unity Foundation grant and we got denied.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, it was the first one that we'd ever applied for and written, so maybe there are some keywords or something that we didn't needed to use and didn't. But there's a luncheon September 12th that Jackie and I are going to find out some more information on how we can make it more successful in April when we apply again, because it opens again in April. I thought it was very well written, but I'm not a grant. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jackie wrote it, I did the financials, so it, and we went over it, really, we changed stuff to, you know, make it a little better, but it didn't pass. So,
On an aside about those signs, I really like that they use just the current logo, and it's something that can just be executed right now.
oh, I thought that was the back door.
You know, like,
Right,
it's great.
and,
They match our town vehicles, you know, it's
Exactly.
cohesive. I don't think there's anything wrong with that logo.
I like it.
right,
But every time it seems like we talk about signs, people wanna talk about, you know, well, let's think about a new logo, or let's hire some people, or let's talk to a school. And I think this is great, and I think it's a huge improvement to have those signs.
it
You know,
is,
we did
and
a
we already
gateway
have
sign.
this on everything.
Right.
So to change that would be enormously expensive, I mean.
Well, a lot of people complain, Bill, about the community progress that we have. Well, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Right, no, I don't either.
I mean, it's,
I know.
I think it fits, and anytime you talk to another town or another agency, they're talking about all they hear about Westville. I mean, they're constantly talking about what Westville's up to, and I think that's kinda cool.
What are you up to?
Well, you know, there is that.
About 3,400 residents counting.
You might wanna, just on a side note, to save your concrete when you pour it, you might have to pull Bubba on board right away, 'cause he dumps all the snow right there. And if he's dumping snow right there with all that salt and everything all winter long, your concrete's gonna be wrecked.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
maybe see if he has an alternate.
Like to put snow.
Yeah.
Okay. Or, no, but, oh, and also on these signs, he's gonna be giving me some other color schemes as well. I wasn't digging the top color scheme. This was just a style, example of the style, so he's gonna be sending us
Do
some
you
other color schemes. Possibly,
stay with that?
yeah, we can incorporate that, those colors. I have some other signs that another company did for me, and they were trying to keep the same color scheme as the Perimeter Park sign, which came out to this. It came out to this, and I didn't like it. We didn't like it, the beautification committee. It just didn't, I don't know, we didn't think it went well together. I don't know
Yeah,
what
it's
you
just,
guys think.
that belongs somewhere else.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look like.
And you know, like if you go to a county park, they're usually green and brown, the signs, the
Mhm.
parks, you know. So I thought keeping our park signs in that same color scheme, we thought that would be to differentiate that from the gateway signs that we are going to end up getting.
Right.
So maybe the gateway sign, I could have them incorporate colors from that, or, you know, something. He'll shoot us over quite a few examples, and we can always pick from that, but, yeah, he did that one because for the school.
And Jackie went to the Lions Club too, and talked with
She
them.
did, she did go to Lions, and the Lions Club was supposed to, they were interested in getting a, gateway sign and purchasing a gateway sign for the town, but we hadn't heard anything back from them, so I think they changed presidents, and there was maybe a lull in the progress there, but since then, she's been to a meeting and we're going to meet with them, because they're interested in buying one, but we need to also be on the same page as what kind of a sign we want. So, we're gonna meet with them, talk to Butch and see what,
But that would be nice to have another service club that's gonna be
Oh,
helping, working in
sure.
town.
yeah. Our thoughts are, if we can get a gateway sign, be able to purchase a gateway sign in the spring, the first, because we'll need 3. We decided that we would want 3. The first gateway sign would be at 421 and 2, probably, which would be the busiest, I would guess, intersection, the North Junction. Then we would go with the south down where the one is now on 500 with all the service signs on it. Kind of in that area, maybe even a little bit more south, Tom said, depending on where we could get it, easement up for property owner or something like that. Now, the third one, we were gonna hold off on that one until they got the roundabout done at 6 and 2.
Yeah, and then it's smart that we don't put one in there.
No, but now I
They
hear
are
that,
doing one.
well, now I hear it's been delayed until 2023. So, well, that's what Tom said. He had said it was gonna be till 2023, so then I'm like, okay, well, so we have to think on that one a little bit.
Town limits is down,
But right, and he's, Tom,
down past Westville
Right.
Estates.
so there could be a possibility of us putting it there, so as not to interfere with that roundabout, that they may or may not someday put in.
You know what would be really cool is if we could just pass Westville Estates right there in the corner of that courtyard where the cemetery is. Because if you were driving, thinking about your own business, past the old Pop House, past Westville Estates, and then see, welcome to Westville, and you come into town, like the cemetery, and it's all kind of nice there. I think that'd be a nice location, and because if we put it ahead of that, it's like, oh, run down the house.
I know, it's possible, it's just like Tom said, I think he said you have to, who owns the properties and whatnot, and where the state right of ways are and all that. But those are the thoughts we have about where they wanna go, where we want them to go.
I guess the other thing is if we get in a situation where we have to put it somewhere that could be impacted by the construction of the roundabout, maybe we just modify that one to where we put a foundation and anchors there, and we just bolt it to the ground, on where we can remove it and replace it.
Tom did suggest that too, that would be
Okay,
good. So those are the thoughts that we have. I mean, we're working on it, this takes a little while to get all the quotes back from everyone. But we are getting there. But this is the project we will start first, if everything comes back under budget.
And that can be done before
Oh, I can,
fall.
sure.
Fall's over.
Yeah. We're hoping to get a lot of the stuff
It's
going.
really got me thinking with that roundabout, how that's gonna affect the Tipton property or wherever, has that.
Oh, that's Terry, yeah.
It's gonna have to be huge, wouldn't it?
It's gonna have to be, it's gonna be every bit of the size of the ones outside of Valparaiso. So.
Right.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you have major traffic going through
You have
there.
truck
with
traffic going through there. If you don't make it big enough, those trucks are just gonna go straight
You
through.
have to have a good sized one.
Probably consume that Tipton property.
Well,
See how it could.
I would think that would get into his building, not only the fencing, but the building, and then the storage building.
It'd be fantastic if that roundabout took up that vacant property where that old gas station was,
Oh,
and
yeah,
the truck stop,
yeah.
and it took up some of that, and we eliminated some of that problem.
That would be nice.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that's brownfields on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they could make that like an oval style roundabout,
Oval.
that would be ideal.
Yeah, I don't know.
This way as you want.
Yeah, the other corner besides Terry's is, the other ones would be
Yeah.
great to use,
You're
it's
right,
just that one.
have to move it back that way, you could pretty much put it in there.
And the building where the old gas station sits next door, food store, that ground is contaminated, I mean, it's not even, so I don't know what they'll do.
The only thing you can do is pave over it, that's all that ground is good for, isn't it?
The concrete over.
If they buy the property and take the gas station down, yay, that's what I say,
That
yay.
would be great.
Mm-hmm.
To end up with the wells, the test wells, and
So, anyway, that's where we are at projects for the beautification committee, as far as that goes. We are getting there, it's just a slow process. And we will let everyone know when we start this, volunteers are more than welcome. So,
Do you guys meet monthly?
I have a feeling I'll get
no,
voluntold.
it's like once a quarter or as needed. Wait, what?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's once a quarter as needed, so we had met once about some of the projects that we wanted to do, and Main Street sign was one of them, but like I said, that's a cost thing, so it just depends what the costs are.
Yeah, I get drafted here and there as well. I can understand that.
Right.
You do have everybody's cell phone number, right?
I gotta figure out how to get mine out of her phone. Oh, did I say that out loud?
I think she'll find you.
Probably.
Yeah,
Good deal.
so that's where we're at. Sorry, I'm done.
Done?
I
Man,
know.
you
Yeah,
talk
I
a
took
lot.
as long as you did.
Usually it's me.
I know.
No, I gotta beat that.
Catchy.
Next is Blue Line Park update. It's me. I assume that's me. Basically, to date, I have, since we had our open house, so that was June. From June until now, I've collected just over $12,000. So in the donation account, I've got about $12,000. I have applied for at least 10 grants. And I just had a link sent to me the other day from some guys at Circuit Court on a website that has about 250 different businesses that have grants that you can apply for community projects. So I enlisted Nate, and Nate and I are kind of going through those and seeing which grants apply to the park project. The most promising I have right now is First Source. First Source is very interested. They didn't bat an eye when I told them that I was going to ask them for about $15,000. They were real excited. I submitted my rough draft. They proofread it, and I have to pick it up Thursday and make some corrections, and then they're going to turn it into their committee to be reviewed. I think the September 19th, I think, is the cutoff for that. I have a grant in Horizon. I asked them for $10,000. They don't award until December, so I haven't heard anything from them. NIPSCO, I have not heard anything. Family Express, I haven't heard anything. ArcelorMittal, still nothing. McDonald's is donating just under $1,200. Actually, I think they mailed the check. They said I should be getting that pretty soon. This year, my goal this year is to have all of the concrete poured, the pavilion built. Johnston's Landscaping is donating all the labor and everything for landscape. And they hooked me up with LaPorte County Landscaping or LaPorte County Nursery. And I went and talked to them, and they said, yeah, they said we can do something. So we should be getting quite a bit from LaPorte County Nursery. So Rich Johnston is going to get with them, get the plans set for the planning, and then I think the fire department, the auxiliary, was going to come in for some labor and do some planting. Mark Parkman's got a gigantic boulder, a 14,000-pound boulder that I asked him about selling, and he said, we'll work something out. So I think he's going to donate it. And my idea was I'm keeping a running list of all the donations I've collected, and I want to do a large brass plate attached to that boulder for all the donations and all the contributors and everything. The large ones like Family Express, they want to put a sign up, so they're going to put a sign up. That's fine. And so this year we should have the pavilion done, landscaping done, concrete poured, and it's basically down to purchasing the equipment, which is roughly, give or take, $40,000 to $50,000. So that's what I'm working towards. And the only catch, the part that's kind of put like some stress on me, is First Source says, yeah, we'll give you the $15,000. Basically, that's what they said. We had like a meeting. It's just, it'd be a great idea. We want to do it. We want to take part, but we want this done and up and running next summer. We don't want to give you money and have our money sitting out there and have an incomplete park. So I didn't have a deadline set for myself, but First Source kind of took care of that for me.
You're just hoping you're the grant.
Yeah.
come through, you know,
Yeah.
you'll hear something before, so you can.
So, I mean, if I can get a couple big ones in there, then we're
Yeah.
good. You know, Horizon is a big one, First Source is a big one, Family Express would be a big one, NIPSCO would be a big one.
Mhm.
And then there's Home Depot does some community grants, Lowe's does some community grants, Aldi's does some.
Mhm.
So those are all the ones that I got in this website that was sent to me the other day that I've been kind of trying to make heads or tails of. It's just a lot of work, it's unbelievably time consuming, so, I've gotten kind of strapped to my desk quite a bit over the last couple of months, going through emails and making phone calls and trying to get financial reports together and sending it all off, to apply for all of these. But I think it's working, and, I mean, I really do believe that one way or another, something's gonna come through and we're gonna get it done.
Have you talked to Okra about, you've got some money that you could use as a match?
I have not talked to Okra yet.
It probably wouldn't hurt you to get a hold of Jerry White and talk with him and tell him, you've got this X amount of dollars that we can say is a match that's gonna be given to us, and what can you do with some of your community grants for us?
Unity Foundation, I was gonna apply with them also, but they don't open back
Again
up until
until
April. So that was my other one that I'm kind of on the back burner with, so Okra, I'll go with them.
Well, you know, and don't give up on Unity Foundation. I used to be on their
Oh,
grant
yeah.
review committee for years.
We're going to reapply.
Yeah, and it's just hard sometimes to get into it,
It
but
is,
once you
sure.
get into it, they have a real good track record of maintaining their people, so. But, I get ahold of Jerry White and just tell him, so what can you do for us?
I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Family Express, for some reason, I don't know, I have this gut feeling that they will come through.
Well, they
They have
obviously donated a lot to Valpo.
well, you see the Valparaiso has the pavilion there on it, the Family Express
Mhm.
Community Pavilion, Family Express, whatever it's named,
Mhm.
entitled. I know they contributed quite a bit of money to that, that's Valparaiso. I think that would be one, and they're here, they have a station here, so I think that would be one that would come through.
I'm
I feel
meeting
like
with,
that, it could be all, but.
I'm meeting with, my friend from LaPorte City, Ken Iliff. I meet with him Friday night. He's a builder on the side, and he's agreed to finish up the pavilion for
Yeah.
a minimal amount of money, so, I mean, compared to what somebody else is gonna charge us, we're not paying him much. So he's gonna do all the roof, he's gonna do the rafters and the metal, all the metal work and everything, get it up.
And your
When
system.
you've got all that
Yeah.
in-kind in,
Mhm.
and that is expert in-kind.
Right,
Yeah,
because he's doing it for.
Yeah,
When
Max
you're
and I
talking
spent-
with Jerry, that's
Mhm.
what I'm thinking of.
yeah, Max and I
Talking
spent
over.
the morning there, 2 weeks ago?
Mhm.
Putting the 2x12s up on those 6x6 posts, so that Ken didn't have to spend so much time there. And Buchanan's is actually making our sign for us.
Yeah.
The sign came, the idea that was to make sort of, I told the company that was working with us on the park, I said, so I have a steel company that does some awesome things, and they want to be involved, but none of this stuff is steel. I said, well, let's do a sign. So they came up with the idea of doing like an industrial-looking sign. The posts will either be I-beams or 6x6 metal posts, and the sign itself will be made out of steel, and it'll be three-dimensional. And it will be powder-coated black, and then the sign, the word Blue Line will be stainless steel, and then there'll be a blue line that goes through the center of Blue Line Park.
Be neat.
And Drew, I gave the drawing to Drew, and he said, oh, absolutely, he didn't even think about it. So they're doing all that. And obviously, that's all free of charge, and that'd be
Yeah, wow.
$7,000 sign.
And don't forget, it's $25 an hour for the expert volunteering,
For the in-kind.
for the
Yeah,
in-kind, yeah. So
So
let him know that as well. I bet you can get some money from over.
Worth a shot, yeah.
we've had a lot has happened. I get antsy because I forget that I'm working with all volunteers, and I'm like, I just want to work, but everybody's fitting us in. Mark Parkman was great coming in, didn't ask for anything. He just came in and did his part in the excavation. And then the Union Mills Concrete, they did everything at half price. So that was a huge help. He said, and I asked him, he goes, I'm union, so I have to do something and I don't wanna get in trouble. He said, my guys gotta agree, and so I think he's paying them out of his pocket, and then he's taking the hit himself.
Who runs Union Mills Concrete?
Jamie Lebo, great guy.
Jackie said she has a family member that Smith.
That's in Smith, that's what she was asking about, the donating of the park. Courtyard.
So it was, it's all coming together. I'm gonna walk on eggshells a little bit with actually getting the equipment purchased and getting that large sum of money together, because you pretty much have to make one purchase, and they come and they tell you how to set it up, and you set it up, so.
And we have a couple calls into the Family Express people. Where we
Yeah, we tried following up with Family Express, but we haven't been able to get a call back yet.
Yeah, we're working on it. So good.
So that's it for Blue Line Park, and then once we get that all done, there'll be a large area on the south portion of the park, that we don't have anything to do with. It's just gonna be kind of dead space. So the next step after that, my thoughts were, in a lot of our meetings, we've discussed connecting with, the animal lovers, that kind of thing, the pet owners. So I thought maybe it might be a good idea to have maybe some kind of a dog run right here in town. That would be very inexpensive to do. So I think maybe if we use that portion of the park and got it planted real well with some playground grass and got some hardy grass in there, and just some real simple obstacles for dogs that people can do what they want with them.
I could see Rocky.
So,
Come on, Rocky, jump up here.
that was sort of my idea for a second stage to the park. Instead of just leaving that ground
Sure.
to mow and do nothing with, then we could use it, and, people could take the dog to the park, and they could have a dog in the dog run and have kids over on the playground. So.
That's neat.
I
Did
think
your dogs
that's it.
enjoy that?
My dog's kind of elderly. My dog's really not a player anymore.
Mine's old too. He's 11, or he's 10, he'll be 11 in March, anyway. But he's a wood.
Yeah.
He's pretty. He's pretty.
Yeah, my dog will go for a walk twice a day, because I have him do it. It keeps him healthy. But otherwise, he pretty much lays around and entices other dogs to attack him. That's about it.
Right. He's pretty. He's just pretty. We went to Bloom when he was real little. I took him out there, and I thought that'd be nice, because he could play with the other dogs. And we went in, and I put him down, and little big thing like this, and here comes this pup, and he was all legs and ears, and he was all over the place, and he was so happy to see Rocky, and I looked down, and Rocky had gone through the fence, and he went, here I am in the dog park with all the dogs, and he's over there. Story of my life with my puppy.
Right.
I'm done. New business. I got nothing. Okay, next is adjournment.
Make a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Good deal,
Done.
good deal.